I'm Eric Anaya, partner at the law firm of Anaya-Mckedy, criminal defense firm here in Colorado Springs. We represent people in Colorado Springs and the surrounding areas. And one of the things that we get often is people calling in asking, did I do what I was supposed to when I got pulled over via DUI? Unfortunately, they're usually calling in too late. So let's talk about that. I want to talk a little bit about that. What happens when you get pulled over for a DUI? What happens when you get contacted by police and maybe you've been drinking? The thing is that one of the first things that the police have to do is establish whether or not you have any alcohol or drugs that are impairing your driving. They're going to ask you, have you smoked any marijuana? Have you drank tonight? You don't have to answer that question. You can answer no even if you had. The thing is whether it was one beer, half a beer, or anything, that then gives the police officers the ability to go to the next step in the process. That gives them a little bit more information to then ask you to get out of the car. So don't give them that information to start off with, number one. Don't tell them that you've had anything to drink, whether it was the smallest amount or whether or not you had 10 shots. Don't admit to any drinking. The second thing is if they do get you out, or they smell alcohol, or if they smell marijuana, or if they do consider that there are some things indicating that you've had the use of drugs, then they can get you out of the car and ask you to perform roadside maneuvers. What those are, that's the next hurdle that the police have to get over. They have to determine enough there that it's impairing your physical condition to be able to get you to a test. That's why they pull you out. That's why they ask you to do roadside maneuvers. You can do roadside maneuvers or you can reject them. It does not impact whether or not they are able to go forward, whether or not you accept to go forward with the roadsides or you reject to go forward with the roadsides. My personal preference is they will probably find indicators in the roadsides. I would not do roadside maneuvers. The next thing is if you fail, or if they say you fail the roadside maneuvers, then they'll ask you to perform a chemical test. That chemical test can either be a blood test or a breath test. And you get to choose if there's any indication of alcohol. Now, if there's only indication of drug use, you only are able to do a blood test. But if there's any indication of alcohol use, you get the choice of a blood test, a breath test, or a refusal. Now, no, if you refuse a test, you will automatically lose your driver's license. You'll automatically lose that driver's license for a period of at least 2 months, but that may save you in the long run. If you've had a lot to drink, then don't take a test. If you have not had a lot to drink and you don't think that you are impaired, I would suggest taking a blood test. There are a lot more things that we can counteract as a defense firm with regards to a blood test than a breath test. The other thing too is that whenever you take a blood test, you don't lose your license automatically. They have to test that blood. That blood has to go to a lab, and that takes weeks for that to come back. And during that time frame, you're able to keep your driver's license. Now, if they do cite you for a DUI, which they will if you take a blood test, because they don't know those test results, don't worry, because it's all based on your blood. It's all based on the blood alcohol content in your system at the time. What you need to do is contact an attorney. Once you contact the attorney, that then starts the process also with whether or not there is an administrative review of your driver's license. If you get a blood alcohol content higher than a 0.08, you will have to do a DMV hearing. That is separate from a criminal case. That is separate from the criminal actions in court. That is simply just to determine whether or not you have the ability to drive in the state of Colorado. If they're able to determine that you're greater than a 0.08, that it's a first offense, and that there's no other reasons to stop that blood work from coming in, unfortunately, you're going to lose your driver's license for a period of 9 months. You have the ability to get that back earlier, but you will lose that for a period of 9 months. The second part is the criminal side. That's the side in which there's punishment that is possible. That is all driven by blood alcohol content, and that's where the attorney really can come in and do the most help for you. So make sure you contact an attorney with regards to that. If you do a breath test, and that breath test automatically comes back as a 0.08, you will lose your license at that point in time, but you have 7 days to request a DMV hearing. Make sure you do that. If you miss that 7-day mark, then you'll be out. You won't have a DMV hearing that you'll be able to go forward and fight that breath test. So make sure you find all those things and complete those, but first contact an attorney. Give us a call. We're able to help you out. We're able to navigate the system for you, but whatever you do, make sure that you are choosing the right direction for yourself.